Welcome back to the channel. G'day, how's it going? So we're going to continue on with our max resist team in the single ranked battle ladder. We had some bit of a roller coaster learning the team, piloting it for the first time, seeing what its strengths and weaknesses are. We've got our first match, so we've got Blastoise, Sneasler, Sneasel, Salazzle, Basculegion, King Gambit, and Sableye. So it's going to be very geared towards Shell Smashing that Blastoise. So it really depends what they decide to lead with. I don't think Diggersby is a bad lead here. They're likely going to lead with the Basculegion and go. That gives them options to flip turn, but they could just as easily go into, a Salazzle. It's going to make Meganium's life a bit tough in this fight. So I'm thinking we definitely need a fair bit of ground. Aegislash going to be okay here. Poison fighting. Definitely a hard counter to Sneasler. I reckon we've got Aura Sphere. Yeah, Aegislash might be a choice here. Not sure if we're going to have a good time in this matchup, but we'll give it a go. They got a lot of darks and poisons and a bit of steel, so Mega Meganium's not going to be great in this match. We've got our 2-win streak carrying on from our previous video. There's the Basculegion that we expected, so yeah, we're not going to be able to lock into much. We're going to expect a flip turn potentially. Not likely going to see a last respects this early. So if we swap, they'll flip turn, which puts them in a better position. So let's just Earthquake, I think. If they wave crash, we survive, and we should be able to do a bit of damage. They'll take the recoil from that, which would be pretty hefty. We survive on our Focus Sash. We respond with Earthquake, which might do a fair bit of damage. It does enough. Very good. All right. So there's our Basculegion worries out of the way. We've still got our Diggersby. And we didn't lose anything on the pivot. So good call there to just stay in an Earthquake. So now we get to see maybe Blastoise come out. There's the Blastoise. So whether they try and Shell Smash here, I think we've got enough speed to be able to Body Slam. And if we don't, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because if they turn one Shell Smash here, a Body Slam would be helpful and handy. We've got a bit of speed, being Jolly max speed. So let's see if they invest anything into their Mega Blastoise. They could try. I don't think. Oh, we got Fake Out. That's going to take us out, I reckon. No Fake Out. Okay, so just straight Body Slam. 45% damage. They Dark Pulse. But Blastoise is in a KO'able range now. The Fake Out there that we missed would have been very deadly, but luckily they didn't have it. So this would be a good idea. They got not a lot to resist our clanging scales, so let's actually see what this looks like in game. We've pretty much been locked into Aura Sphere most of the time, so let's see what a clanging scales actually looks like. Should be enough to do 55%. Blastoise is pretty tanky though. But yeah, we're faster with our Choice Scarf. They could just as easily try and swap here, but I don't know where that's going to pivot them to. So we've seen Dark Pulse. Usually Water Spout is another option. But we get our Clanging Scales off. That doesn't KO. We lose a bit of our defense, which doesn't impact us here. But there's the Shell Smash. So they'll be able to get their extra special attack, and speed. No White Herb though. But another Clanging Scales with Choice Scarf should have been enough, but with their Shell Smash, they were able to outspeed us. So not perfect for Choice Scarf user, but at least our Aegislash should be able to come in now. And Shadow Sneak should be able to pick up the KO. 14%. We got pretty decent attack. Let's see what they decide to go for here. So yeah, having access to priority moves is really good. And yeah, it's enough to get us the KO. They didn't white herb the defense drops because they've got Mega Blastoise. Right, so bit of an advantage there, bit of a loss. They've got Salazzle, which is going to cause us a bit of issues. Having access to Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp. They Will-O-Wisp here, we know it goes through our King Shield, which is not ideal. See if it's what they open with. No, they open with Flamethrowers, so at least we can be in our shield form for when we take it. So yeah, let's Poltergeist, see if we survive a Salazzle Flamethrower. Hopefully we do, and we do. That's enough. That's good. Crit, man. We're getting absolutely RNG to death here. But the Poltergeist should connect, and it's got leftovers, so good. It's not an item that's going anywhere anytime soon, but done. Damage out. So yeah, being able to swap into the shield form then really helped us, which is good. Now it's lagging a bit. There we go. And now we're on a 3-win streak. Look at that. We might even make it to Masterball. We've had a few opportunities stacked against us, but no, that was straight into Masterball Rank 4. We get a reward in our mailbox, because once you get to Masterball, it kicks you straight out. Oh, we even get a cutscene from Kajima. It's quite the achievement to make it to the Masterball tier, not just once, but twice, because we did last season as well. It feels like everyone in Frontier is talking about what a star you are. You're providing a shining example for other trainers to respect and admire, and I know many out there strive to battle with your skill. Oh, mate. I'd even say that the red-hot energy in battle arena these days is in large part thanks to you. So keep up the good work in helping Frontier remain the most exciting battle hub in the world. Maybe someday soon it'll be me you face across the battle court, eh? If so, let's give the audience a show. That'll take their breath away. Here's hoping that day comes sooner rather than later. Until then, let's see if we get any extra awards for reaching Masterball twice. And we go to our mailbox, we get our rank up reward, which is just some VP. Oh, well. Well, we'll take that. Yeah, get rid of that. And let's go into Masterball. Ranked battles, look at that. We are ranked 1.6 million. That's not a lot, but good starting point. So now where the real mind games begin. Obviously in Ultra Ball there's, higher Ultra Ball ranks. It starts to kick in a lot, but now even more than ever. So let's see how Max Resist team goes against the Masterball. So they've got all the starters. That's their Fire, Water, Grass core. They've got Dragon. So we know our Diggersby actually put up quite the counter to Delphox if they decide to lead with that. And it should do well against the others. I don't see why it wouldn't. Then if we can get rid of their Delphox, we'll have Mega Meganium for Dragonite and Greninja and their Chestnut. We're going to have either Rotom. I think Como is going to be better in this matchup. We get the Fire against the Sizzle and the Aura Sphere against the Snorlax, which isn't ideal, but over King Gambit, Rotom, and Aegislash, I think we should do okay. So we'll see what they decide to lead with. So yeah, if we've got Delphox lead, we've got that covered. Dragonite, Scizor, and Snorlax. We've got our Fighting Dragon to cover. And then, yeah, Greninja and Chestnut might cause us a bit of problems, but we've got Weather Ball on Meganium, which should be able to do a bit of work then. So they've got a couple seconds to decide. Do they leave it to the very last second? Otherwise, it defaults to the first three, which is Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut, which would not be a good matchup for them. So keep our 3-win streak, and let's see what they decide to lead with. It is that Delphox, so likely what we encountered last time. They'll Mega Evolve to block the Earthquake, so let's straight Body Slam them. They could just pivot, they could stay Delphox. We don't know, but we'll see whether this is their mega choice for this battle. So yeah, we could see another substitute. I don't know how common substitute on Delphox is. We could just as easily see, the Mystical Fire. But there's the Mega, so reason you don't lock into Earthquake turn 1 against Delphox. See what they decide to lock into. So yeah, they're faster, they get Flamethrower, does a fair bit of damage, but we were surviving with Focus Sash or not. This should do big damage. We get the Paralyze on them as well, so now it's half their speed. So we could lock into another Body Slam here. I think at half speed, I don't think Delphox is outspeeding us. So we'll just, yep, there's the withdraw. So quick attack would have been great to lock into here. We'll at least get another Body Slam on the Dragonite here. Maybe another Paralysis. There we go. So yeah, we're just RNG in this. But they got the Lumberry to block that. So I think we'll keep our Diggersby around. We'd expect, maybe a Dragon something. So maybe not the time to swap into Como. Actually, I think with Como, we should just be able to, I reckon, another Body Slam. There's the Scale Shot. So yeah, if we swapped into Meganium there, we would have eaten that because we weren't Mega'd. But now we get the free switch. And yeah, switching into Como wouldn't have been ideal there either. They get a bit of this, that, and the other thing, but now's a good time to bring out our Mega. And yeah, we'll Mega Evolve, we'll Dazzling Gleam. They'll likely swap out, and they do. Maybe back to the Delphox, Snorlax. Okay. So this is where our Como would do really well. But we'll see how much a Dazzling Gleam does, and we'll assess whether a Solar Beam will help here. Yeah, so that's only doing 20%. That's a very specially defensive wall. So, do we keep the Meganium for later? Do we try and get a burn? Or do we just keep... I think we need to... We'll need to swap into Como at this point. So what we're likely to see from Snorlax, maybe a Yawn. There it is. So that puts us at a bit of a disadvantage, but we're going to have to lock in to get some damage. Otherwise, Snorlax could very easily Belly Drum. So let's try and get a bit of damage on. Maybe block out the Belly Drum, because if it gets that off, then we know Meganium's not an answer to Snorlax. And again, another reason to convert our Como into physical, because we're not seeing great results and very bad matchups against our special attack. But there's the Protect, so we fall asleep. So that gives them a free Belly Drum next turn. And yeah, swapping into Meganium there would have just kept us pivoting. So I think take the sleep. This is their opportunity to Belly Drum, and that'll pretty much finish off the fight for us, I reckon. If that's the build that they're got. And I don't see why it wouldn't be. But we'll take our turn of sleep here. There's our guaranteed turn. They've just got Facade. Okay. Not what I was wholesomely expecting, but We could wake up here, otherwise we wake up next turn. So we've got a good chance of waking up here, but we don't. That's fine. They do another facade. So they're 4-hit KOing us with a facade. I don't know how they're expecting to get burned, unless I guess that's their answer to, you know, the Rotom Will-O-Wisps that come out. Facade does a lot more damage when you've got a status on. So, I mean, yeah, that's not doing much more damage than the previous. And yeah, they've got leftovers. They might even have rest. I think we might be walled here behind Snorlax because we don't have a physical fighter. So again, something to consider going forward when you're team building, you know, knowing what we're up against. I don't know how often, you know, how common Snorlax is in the format, but I know Tyranitar is pretty rampant. So yeah, maybe at a point in time in our future, we'll turn our Como physical, because it's not proving overly useful. There's the protect again. So we'll fall asleep into the protect. They'll get another 2 turns of their facade, because that's all they've decided to rock. I don't know what our out is here. Because yeah, we'll probably try and wake up. There's the facade again. They get more leftovers. I mean, whether we try here or try later, I think trying here will get a bit more damage. And then, yeah, we're asleep. So Facade will finish us off here. Which then, yeah, leaves us with our Meganium, which against, yeah, they've got Delphox left in the back plus Dragonite. So, yeah, unless our Solar Beam here crits, because they're just going to yawn us again. Likely. Yawn and protect. So we'll see how much damage this does over the Dazzling Gleam. Could do a bit more. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. We're absolutely walled behind Snorlax, so let's not drag this out, because yeah, they'll just hit us a couple of times, yawn us back to sleep, hit us a couple of times. So yeah, we definitely need some physical. So again, identifying a limitation of the team, something that we're unable to overcome, which is a very special walled Snorlax. So, I mean, they could just as easily go Body Slam there, but I guess they're covered for the Will-O-Wisp. So, decent strategy on their behalf. Overcome our choices. I don't think Aegislash. Yeah, we didn't have, yeah, Aegislash or Kingambit wouldn't have been able to provide any much better use there. But we're up against a new team now, so likely Mega Lopunny. Then we've got Banette and Archeliodon, Primarina, and we get another Snorlax. So we'll open with Diggersby. I think that's being a very solid opener at the moment. Como wasn't overly effective in these matchups, although it could be a good answer to Archeliodon. We can try, I think, Aegislash. Got some options there, although we just really need to get rid of that Lopunny. So I reckon let's lock that in. Yeah, I don't think Rotom Heat's in a good matchup here. I mean, we could be, you know, if we get walled by Snorlax again, maybe Nasty Plot Thunderbolting would be the way. But let's see how we go. So they decided to lead with Banette, which is interesting. We should be okay to, yeah, so it's found our Focus Sash. We should be okay to Earthquake here. Do we pivot? If we pivot, I don't think we're pivoting in a great option. So let's see what they can do if we Earthquake. So yeah, they're going to swap into Snorlax. So they're going to try and wall us out again. Although that did big damage. So I'm happy to try that again. If they yawn us here, we'll be able to pick up the KO next turn. Because I've only got 2% left. Oh, the self-destruct. Nice. I mean, we survived that with our Focus Sash. So there's a few different Snorlaxes we're encountering today. So we saw the Yawn version. That was the self-destruct version. If we'd just done 1% more damage twice, we would have been okay. So yeah, we're not likely to see last respects, but maybe an Aqua Jet. What are we? Let's scout. What are they gonna do? Surely they were gonna Aqua Jet. Yeah, there's the Aqua Jet. So we could still see that next turn. So where's our good cover for? Yeah, I don't think they'd be locked into Aqua Jet on a Choice Scarf. So we can at least swap to our Como and absorb an Aqua Jet. Fine. But then we can fire back with the Clanging Scales, which should do decent damage. We're Choice Scarf, so yeah, we're expecting to be faster here. That does decent damage. We lose defense, so yeah, last respects here could clean us up, but they decide to flip turn. Alright. So we know that's coming back later. We've got rid of their Snorlax. So we should see the Banette come back out. So now, if they weren't sure, they know now. See a Mega Banette here, I expect. But they know they're going to get outsped, so they've got access to Prankster. So they could Will-O-Wisp us here, but again, we're special, so not overly effective. They're just going to let us Clang and Scales, and that'll do decent damage. We're down 2 defense, but we see Poltergeist come out, and yeah, if that connects, it should pick up the KO, and it does. So yeah, we've got our Diggersby is not going to be doing much here. So it's all going to be on our Aegislash. So what can we do to capitalize that? We're not going to be able to quick attack. I reckon we Aegislash. We expect a Poltergeist here. Or we're just going to have to Shadow Sneak, I think. We're not overly fast, so they should be able to beat us in what they do. So we're banking on a sneak attack here, picking up the KO from 45%. They go for Destiny Bond. Interesting. That would have been a good opportunity to have our Diggersby come in. So let's hope this doesn't KO. But it does. So Destiny Bond will take us down with it. And then, yeah, they'll be able to Aqua Jet our Diggersby. So well played to them. That was good strategy on their behalf with the Destiny Bond. Because, yeah, they'll just Aqua Jet here. We can't quick attack, unfortunate. And that's the other team that I was contemplating as a Mega Lopunny. And Mega Lopunny gets scrappy, but I don't know if Mega Lopunny gets quick attack. But that'll be enough to finish us off for this match. So, yeah, Master Ball proven a bit more difficult, with especially against some of the meta that we're seeing. You know, Basker Legion. We haven't encountered many Archeludons, but we had a strong answer to their Snorlax this game, but they self-destructed. So we're down again. But again, it's a completely different ranking now. So we're against different opponents. So teams can have better success or unsuccessful, depending on the rank, time of day, those sorts of things. So again, we're seeing that Snorlax is making a comeback. Again, I don't think Diggersby is a terrible lead here, but the Mimikyu is certainly going to cause us some issues. So what are we looking at here? What do we think they're going to lead with? Maybe the Snorlax or the Skarmory? If they lead with the Skarmory, we're being not in a great position. So I think leading Como here would be a good choice. We'll definitely keep Diggersby in the back. And then we're going to have to Mega Meganium, I think. Because yeah, I don't know if King Gambit's going to be. I don't think we've had a good opportunity for King Gambit to really come in and clean up safely. There's been a lot of risk with King Gambit, but hopefully it's there to scare off physical attackers. And there, yeah, we see the Skarmory, which is one of the things we were expecting to see. Hopefully we can survive them with our flamethrower, because this should do decent damage. But we see that withdrawal. So in comes the Snorlax. So we get to see what Flamethrower does, and that is not a lot. So we'd be expecting a Yawn come out now, or probably not, a self-destruct. So yeah, do we swap into Diggersby? Do we sacrifice Meganium? I think we go Meganium for now. If we swap into our Diggersby, we lose our Focus Sash if they decide to attack. If they straight into Yawn, that's going to put us in a bad position. There's the Yawn. So at least we can get into our Mega Form and fire some damage off. So yeah, we'll just Solar Beam, do our 10, maybe 20% if we're lucky. And then yeah, we'll see if it's another Facade, could be a Body Slam. I don't think they'd self-destruct here. We get into Mega Meganium, we get our Solar Beam off in the Pretend Sun. Again, not doing huge amounts of damage, but oh, that does a bit more than last time. We see another Yawn, but we're already yawned. We're already fallen asleep. They get a couple turns of leftovers. So they were expecting us to swap out then. So putting Yawn on, again, puts us under a bit of pressure. We get our 1 turn of guaranteed sleep. They're going to take this as an opportunity to swap back into Skarmory or Lopunny. Alright. So, Lopunny has the triple axle here. So yeah, swapping into Como or our other isn't ideal. They'll go into normal fighting. They'll definitely outspeed us. It'll just be whether the triple axle KOs us from max hit points. And whether we wake up. But they've opted for Swords Dance, which is going to cause us a bit of trouble. And yeah, we're stuck asleep, so they're more than likely gonna Swords Dance again. But the triple axle comes out. This has a chance to miss, so bit of a gamble, but they've taken it. And it's connected all 3 times. And yeah, Swords Dance Lopunny is going to cause us an absolute world of hurt. Unless they don't stick with triple axle. So we're going to have to try and bait him here with our Focus Sash. And we're going to have to Earthquake, I think. Big damage. Body Slam could do the paralysis, but I think we're going to need the extra 15 base power here to ensure. So yeah, they triple axle again. Again, they could miss, but they don't. Yeah, that triple axle with the Swords Dance is absolutely destructive. So our only hope now is for them just to not triple axle our entire team, really. I mean, we can lock into Clanging Scales, but I think Aura Sphere is going to do a bit more, so that's likely 140. So with the stab, let's see if this is enough. I don't think Aura Sphere is enough to take out the Mega Lopunny here, but you never know. And yeah, as you see, it's not. And then they're going to be able to triple axle us again. Again, one of these has got to miss, but no, 90% accurate 9 times in a row. They only had one more chance to, statistically miss then, but was in their favor. So yeah, we had a bit of a decent lead. We were going to get stalled a bit by Snorlax, but that was just a setup for Mega Lopunny to come in and Swords Dance and absolutely clean. So we'll lose a bit more ranking, learn a bit more about the team, learn how ineffective Como's special attacks are in the format. So good learnings for future team building. Again, all of this is just a lot of scouting, checking to see what other people are doing, get inspired by their team as much as they might be inspired by yours. But we're on to the next match. We've got, again, Gengar, Sneasler, lead probably, maybe a Meowstic. I reckon we're going to Diggersby Aegislash. And then, yeah, we're going to have to take the... We've got Fire. Or do we take Chance against Bug? So they've locked in pretty quick. They know what they're doing. But what are we going to do? Do we need more? We don't currently have any fire. Is this a fight for Rotom? Not really. I don't think... Rotom could do some work here. Let's give Rotom a go. I mean, you only really got to take out the Garchomp. Nah, if we do that, let's just go. We've got more options with Como than we do Rotom. Yeah, so we're still bleeding rank here, but again, they've decided to lead with Scizor. We've got our Diggersby, so they could just as easily Swords Dance here. We're going to try Earthquaking, put a bit of pressure on them. We could swap out and try and Flame, but we've got Como in the back, should be able to clean up if they decide to bulk up. But they are Mega Scizor. So they do have access to priority moves here, so we do have to be careful. They'll likely get us down to our Focus Sash, but let's see how much an Earthquake does. Not a lot. So Close Combat comes out. That'll take us down. So hopefully we can bait a Bullet Punch here. And this will be our opportunity to swap into something that could do a bit better. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to look into Flamethrower against this. We definitely want to keep our Diggersby for a bit later. If they're gonna... We could just as easily Shadow Sneak. But I think we'll get Como in. So yeah, we'd expect to see Bullet Punch. And we do. That won't do... Oh, that did actually a fair bit of damage. Crazy! So yeah, we could probably lock into Aura Sphere here. I don't think locking into Fire is going to be great. So let's look into Clang and Scales. And they've withdrawn. So we see the Sneasler come out. So we see some fake out pressure here. But we'll get our Clang and Scales off. We lose a bit of defense. Are they going to be threatening fake out? That is the question. Even if they fake out, fake out's going to do a bit. I think we stay in. We try Clang and Scales. There's the fake out. With our defense drop, that'll do a bit more than usual. They get the Poison Touch, but our Clang and Scales, oh yeah, we get the miss. They're not unburdened. They could just as easily protect here and let the poison do its work, but they don't. So we get our Clang and Scales. That'll pick up the KO. So whether we see Scizor come back in now or not. So yeah, we're hurting. So we're likely going to switch out because yeah, we'll need the we'll need Como a bit later. So we've not got a lot of strong Pokemon left, but we're trying to pocket the Diggersby for a strategic quick attack later. So yeah, the Bullet Punch is not going to do a lot here. So yeah, we know they got Scissorite. We could try and bait them with a King Shield here, but they could just as easily Swords Dance. So let's Poltergeist. Knock off. Ooh, big damage. That'll get rid of our leftovers. But it should allow us to Poltergeist and hopefully do enough damage. Come on. Whoosh. Oh, okay, so cool. They're not going to be able to Bullet Punch us. We're just going to be able to Shadow Sneak them. And we get the Shadow Sneak off. That should do the 4%. So Sneasler down, Sizzle down. We've got bits and pieces of health on our Pokemon remaining. So we see Garchomp come out. So they could just as easily Earthquake here. So let's King Shield to scout. Maybe they do a Scale Shot. Maybe they're Choice Scarfed. We don't know. But if we scout a turn with King Shield and they connect, that negs their attack for the rest of the battle. We've got a quick attack from our Diggersby to do a bit of chip. Let's see what they decide to go with. So they go with the Earthquake. So yeah, we're not surviving that. So best we can do is a Shadow Sneak right now. See how much bits and pieces of damage we can get on this Garchomp. Check if it's Rough Skin. So yeah, 18%. Yep, there's the Rough Skin. So there's the Earthquake. Oh, Stealth Rock. All right, so we'll be able to get in a couple more. So that prevents the Diggersby coming in and taking another stab. Might also impact our Como. So we'll see. We'll be able to get another 18% damage off, which is good. They could anticipate a King Shield here because we just Shadow Sneaked. And they're mindful they don't want to neg their attack at all. And then, yeah, well, the Stealth Rock was to cover for the King Shield, which we didn't do. So now we're down to 65%. Again, a bit more Rough Skin. There's the Dragon Tail. That'll finish us off. Now it is whether our Como can get in safely. 22. I don't know if that's enough. Is it enough to survive Stealth Rock? It is. And then, yeah, a Clanging Scales might be able to do it from 65. That's all we've got. So we've given it everything. Oh, it's enough! Yes! Excellent. All right. We clutched that with our Choice Scarf. Yeah, again, if that was like Dragon Claw, I don't know if that would have done. So again, now we're, seeing Como advantage against things like Rough Skin, Garchomp, those sorts of things. So get a bit of a win there, which is excellent. So we've got time for one or two more. Again, just learning from the meta, making, better decisions, piloting the team, seeing where SP points need to be moved. It's all part of the game. We've got a new team, new opponent, Odd Breakfast. So we've got likely Mega Gardevoir. We've got the Hippowdon lead, potentially. We've got Meowscarada and Dragapult with, see Beedrill. I've always wanted to do a Beedrill team. I'm keen to potentially look at that. If that's something you're interested in, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to do a Mega Beedrill team, or even just a Beedrill team. I don't think they're going to lead with that, as much as I'd love for it. And if they do, that covers our Mega Meganium terribly. But we're going to go for it. They've got Rotom, which we'll need an answer for. Got a lot that we'll need to answer for. So let's try. How's Diggersby going here? Not great. I think we're going to have to... I think Como's going to do okay here, where if we can get rid of the Hippowdon, we'd be alright. I think Aegislash. We're going to need some priority moves. I don't think Rotom Heat is overly useful here. Diggersby could be. Oh, nah. I reckon Aegislash over Diggersby in this one. And then, yeah, hopefully the King Gambit scares off their Dragapult. But let's see what they decide to lead with. They do decide to lead with Beedrill. Sick. That puts us in a major disadvantage. But we can at least Mega Evolve and Protect. No, let's not Mega Evolve and Protect. Let's go straight to Aegislash because we're expecting Poison Jab here. And that'd definitely finish us off. So if we can swap to Aegislash and immune off the Poison Jab. Let's see what Mega Beedrill can do. So yeah, no reason not to Poison Jab here, and they do, and we cover for that. Excellent. So again, we're at a bit of an advantage here because we should be able to poltergeist with these. And the thing about Beedrill is it's not able to take many hits if it's able to take one. So yeah, there's the U-turn. See you later. Not a good matchup, but it has obviously that ability to extremely fast pivot to something that'll probably maybe have Powden or Meowscarada. We'll see what comes out. There's the Rotom. Okay, so yeah, Poltergeist is going to be doing big damage here. So this will be good for us. So we see the Citrus Berry. Unfortunately, we can't snag it. But we do decent damage. They get Citrus Berry back. If we King Shield here, not overly advantageous because they're going to be hitting us with an Overheat likely. So something that we need to take care of. So let's swap into Como now. Try and eat an Overheat. There it is. So yeah, Overheat would have done big damage to Aegislash, but we get the resist. They're not doing a big hit next time. Let's see what they swap into. I think, yeah, we'll just look into Clanging Scales. They stay in. They're not going to be doing as much. Oh, they survive on 1. But the defense negative isn't going to benefit them. They get the Will-O-Wisp off, which is going to be not impactful for our Como. Although we do start losing a bit of health each turn. We'll be able to get another Clanging Scales off. So yeah, Mega Meganium wasn't going to be overly useful in this matchup unless we get to see what they bring in last. So we could see Beedrill come back out here, or we could see their third pick. Let's see what they decide to opt with. If they had the Mega Beedrill come back out, we should still be faster than it, and we should be able to get a Clanging Scales off. But we do see the Dragapult. Okay. So again, we should be able to be faster in this scenario, and we are. We get the Clanging Scales off, and see you later. So they didn't scout that we were Choice Scarfed. We are now disabled on our Clanging Scales. But all they've got is Beedrill left. So let us pivot into a better position. So yeah, we'll sacrifice Meganium here. Because I don't know if they'd Poison Jab here or they do the X-Scissor Bug Bite, whatever bug move they got going. Let's see what they got. There's the Poison Jab. Dead. Yep, excellent. That's fine. That allows us to pivot back into Como, change our option, and also get rid of the Curse Body. And then Aegislash can pick up what's left, hopefully. So yeah, we can Clanging Scales, but let's go with Flamethrower. We get all our defense boosts removed, but at least we get Flamethrower off, and that'll be enough to put us into Shadow Sneak range. So more Poison Jab. We don't survive. It's got a huge attack stat, Beedrill, at sacrificing for all the defenses, but they're obviously not going to be able to Poison Jab us. So maybe they're stuck into U-turn here, but I think a Shadow Sneak from 17% should finish the job, and we'll pick up that one. But what an interesting team to go up against. We had some good pivots then. But yeah, we should be able to Shadow Sneak and take the KO. Up. Done. Easy. Not easy. Fun. Excellent. There you go. Well fought, Odd Breakfast. So yeah, now we're climbing numbers instead of ladders. But we've got our 2-win streak. We end at 150,000. I'll have to compare to that to where we started with. But that's pretty good. Again, bit of a roller coaster. Lots of tweaks that can be made, but otherwise we'll wrap it up there for today. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate your support. Otherwise, until next time, take care and enjoy. Thank you.